Years ago, our three hosts began a journey together as they watched all the Ernest films and TV shows in chronological order for a podcast. As that quest neared its end, our heroes were entrusted with the holy grail of all things Ernest, the binders of unmade Ernest movie ideas. Having been blessed with his sacred text from the creators and writers of the Ernest franchise, they decided to share the treasures within with the world. They formed the Ernest P. Worrell Preservation Society and will gather regularly to discuss these films that never were. They are the well-wishers of Worrell, the vessels of Varney. They are the Ernest P. Worrell Preservation Society. It's going to be a veritable extravaganza. Comprendo? Welcome, one and all, to quite possibly the most anticipated episode of the Ernest P. Worrell Preservation Society thus far.
I have all the excitement of prom night.
Yeah?
Yep. Knowing the things are going to transpire in the back of my Dodge Intrepid.
Is that how your prom night ended?
Nah, yeah.
At least it's not raining. On prom night raining. That's a Grease reference.
Wow.
That song mentions menstrual blood. It's a true story.
The girls will cream.
Yep.
For Ernest and the Waterbaby.
Welcome to the show, Dustin.
I am your humble host, Dustin.
Welcome to your house.
Welcome to a Ernest P. Worrell Studios. We are the Camp Kikiki community players for the next 3 episodes.
Theater.
Yes.
Theater. Theater.
I brought
Acting.
in 2 of my favorite Vernonites and amigos and some of the best role players I know.
Alas, poor Yorick.
That's Jason.
There's yep.
And Derek.
Hello.
He's getting in character already.
Hello, yes.
We have libations. It is 12:30 on a Sunday afternoon. It's Super Bowl Sunday, but it's Waterbaby Sunday for us.
That's how I think history will prove that this is the Sunday, the Waterbaby Sunday. People will talk about in time. You'll forget how many Super Bowls have there been? 400, maybe.
Something
You
like
know. Well,
hey,
they
guess
get
what?
lost in the shuffle. How many Waterbaby Sundays have there been?
1.
Yep.
And I'm just saying, I am excited for this. Super Bowl, 2 shakes of a rat's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sports are lame.
Unless they involve Ernest.
Exactly.
Slam dunk and goes to school. And some
Yeah.
sports
Heck
in
yeah.
there. So
Love that.
90s sports, okay.
yeah.
90s Bulls.
Okay.
2004.
Doubles.
2004 U of I. After that, don't really care.
Okay. Well, it's the coldest day of the year. We're huddled in my basement.
It really is so far.
It is. It was
It is
like
brisk.
4 degrees when I went to get the pizza earlier.
I woke up in like about
Pizza,
4:30 in the morning, and I was
pizza
cold
pie.
in my house. And I was like, I've checked the temperature. It says -4. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So I turn up the heat. I go back to sleep. I wake up 3 hours later. I was like, surely it's warmer now. It is not. It is now -8 degrees outside. Good lord. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
We're freezing here.
My rude awakenings with baby Henry, toddler Henry, was not only a cold house because something was up with our furnace. I got it fixed
Good.
easily.
Yeah.
He
Ernest
also,
the furnace.
Ernest the furnace,
Yeah.
baby. But I also got
More
whacked in the
sports.
face with a bulldozer.
What now?
He hit me in the face with a bulldozer.
Ouch.
What, from a Caterpillar?
Well, modeled after that. It was
Okay.
a toy, not a
Oh.
not a big one.
Oh, making a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah.
right
Right.
there.
You're fine.
Yeah, I mean it was fine. It
You're
was
fine.
Suck it up, Hoover.
It was shocking.
Yeah. Shock me.
It was more like, what the hell are you doing?
This is, like you said, probably the most anticipated episode.
Yeah, for the uninitiated, you want to tell people what Ernest and the Waterbaby is. I can't imagine anybody watching this or listening is completely unaware.
Just like a rough idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I? Because I'm going in blind. I
Okay.
want to throw some spaghetti at the wall, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I'll be a wall.
Okay, you be wall.
You throw spaghetti at me.
I'll throw spaghetti at you.
Okay, go ahead.
Spaghetti.
Ah.
Giuseppe. Is this like Ernest Mac and Me without the
Yes, exactly right. That's
without
exactly
the
right.
McDonald's product placement?
Nope. With.
Should he? Oh,
Double
it's
down.
in there.
No,
Yeah.
we're
Was it Burger King
we
instead?
can add things in.
There are 4 characters
Oh,
named Big
if
Mac.
I
in this.
want breakdancing
If you-
in a fast food restaurant.
If you don't think that I will be referring to Mac and Me
Oh,
at any
yeah,
point
I'm
through
sure.
this, You are.
Can we?
Hi.
We can confirm that
Yes.
Jennifer Aniston is in that scene, right?
As
I think she is.
In the breakdance.
Mac.
No, she's one of the. She's like
Or me.
an uncredited dancer in
Okay.
that scene. I think.
I
Jennifer
do
Aniston.
believe she is in it.
Interesting.
Because I think they said something about it in the Jonah era MST3K.
Yeah.
They shot the scene and they said, "All right, now we're taking you to immediately shoot Leprechaun 1."
Yep.
I think is how that went.
Yes, exactly.
And then McDonald's was product placement in that too.
So the whole premise of this series is going through the binders of unmade movies.
Yeah.
And there is one that has been long fabled.
Talk of legend.
It's been in books, right?
Yes.
There's secrets online. People whispers on the
I'm
internet.
convinced that there's an alternate universe where it happened.
I think it's very likely.
And what we are reading is the third draft from June 15th, 1992. It was originally written in 1990. So this was around for a while. Disney did get this pitched to them. They turned it down.
Fools.
And we can discuss after we're all done why we think that is. And, when we do our rating. But,
They were
Jason,
too busy
as I
trying to find a good Tony Danza vehicle.
Yeah. The Philadelphia field goal kicking, garbage picking phenomenon.
You read my mind.
Yeah, I have that one on VHS. Check it out on Dishing Disney.
What if a garbage bin?
It's a perfect Super Bowl episode.
What if Super Bowl?
Yeah,
I think it's a great movie.
it is. There's no Angelas though.
Oh, maybe a Jonathan?
Maybe there might be a
Smangela?
Smangela? Shmona?
And then when Danza and Ernest shared a screen together.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it on the old show on that Disneyland. I think it's like 35th anniversary or something.
Splash Mountain?
No, it was the one where Pop Worrell and Little Ernest went to the park.
The go-kart
Yeah.
track? Okay.
Yeah.
And he had the old home video footage.
Yes. Oh, mercy.
That was one of my favorite Pop World bits. If you haven't seen that, Jim, just watch that whole Disneyland special.
It is a treat.
It is a sight to behold. And you can't just look up Ernest Disneyland. It won't pop up. You have to search for the proper
It's like a
vehicle.
relic from a forgotten time. You don't
It
see
is.
television specials.
It is.
Like
You
that
get
anymore.
Alan Thicke singing with like Ninja Turtles and Will Smith doing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Is DJ Jazzy Jeff there too? I can't remember.
think so.
He's always there.
Yeah.
It's
Somewhere.
the perfect
He's
timestamp.
Pluto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
in the
is it like
costume.
92?
Yeah,
Roughly.
something
It's
like
like that's the perfect timestamp for that year.
Yes.
Like if someone's like, "Tell me about 1992," you can say, "How about I show you?"
And this is
It's
that
got
era.
everything.
Yeah.
Alan Thicke, Tony
Yes.
Danza,
So
Fresh Princes.
that's the lens that we need to be in for this movie.
Get that mindset, baby.
But before we even get into that,
Yes.
I did want to talk a little bit about our last episodes. The Lima Beans 1 and 2 did very well. YouTube videos got a lot of views. People seemed to be really interested
It was a lot of fun.
in
to do
that
one.
TV series, and a couple of our patrons even left some thoughts on our Patreon page.
Everyone here universally loved the Lima
Yes,
Beans.
it was
It was
Trey
fun.
Superb.
And it's always a little bittersweet coming off of something that we really love. 'Cause
Mhm.
if we hate it, if we all universally hate it, they're like, all right,
Moving on.
what's the next thing? Hopefully it's great. But we're coming off.
We're on a
Coming
high.
off a pretty serious high.
Lima Beans is one of those things that people kind of knew about. There's a little rumble about that. We're coming off of that one that was really great into a huge 100-page script.
Yeah.
Chuck-a-Bluck,
So I'm kind of
as I'm
curious.
off to say.
I agree with you, but I'm kind of curious what people had to say about Lima Beans.
Yeah, so Jen Mask,
Jen Mask.
she gave it a superb as well,
Mm.
and she totally loved the idea of Ernest being a part of like an ensemble cast.
Yeah,
but not the primary
but
player.
not the primary, and that that this really could have really been a good show to enjoy, and she also is super excited for these Waterbaby episodes.
Oh.
She's been like working on her own artwork.
Awesome.
Do you suppose she, given her name, Jen Mask,
Mhm.
she may or may not be a vigilante?
Oh, it's quite possible.
I think so.
I mean, because it's Jen Mask and friends on Twitter.
That
at
suggests a
times.
team.
Exactly.
And given my past proclivities, kind of want to have a team up.
Okay. Like
I mean,
a
I gotta-
crossover event?
Well, I got to take some of the personal effects out of mothballs and,
Okay.
and work on my dad gut.
All
To
right.
get back in fighting
Well,
shape.
maybe when we eventually do the Ernest superhero episode, that would be a good time.
Maybe she could be the Carrie Kelly Robin to my out of retirement Bruce.
Who knows?
Plump
Just as long
Knight
as no one,
returns.
we don't want anybody ending up in a wheelchair.
Dad
so,
bod Batman returns.
Yeah. And then next was Mike. Mike is oh, okay.
Easy.
Gotcha.
We're drinking.
Mike had a really cool item arrive before I even get into his feedback. He is the one who purchased a VHS tape of the Jim Varney E True Hollywood Story and uploaded that onto
yes.
YouTube for everybody to enjoy. Now, I will be honest,
He's
the three
true
of us
Robin Hood.
the three of us had seen it before. We were given a copy. We were told, "Hey, don't share this."
We got a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret link, and we enjoyed it a couple years ago, and we knew people wanted to see it, but it wasn't our place to put it out there.
We can't do that.
So what happened is Mike found this VHS copy that was like bought from E, like it has
It's got
official
the
label,
The
artwork,
label
and
with
everything.
the old 90s.
And he digitized it and put it on YouTube, and as of right now, it is still up. Now, whether it will be up forever, I cannot guarantee that.
Now you said he digitized it.
Yeah, he recorded it off of
Hold
the
on, hold on.
VHS and put it on YouTube.
Okay, I was gonna say let Derek guess what digitized meant.
Oh.
That I do know what it is.
Okay.
I
don't
learned that.
know.
More
I
spaghetti
learned
on the
that.
wall.
Is it what Dustin just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really excited. And you know what? I'm glad he went against the grain and put it up there. Jules
I
Asner
watched
be
it again.
damned.
I watched it again.
Awesome.
Author of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
That's Jules Verne.
Oh,
Jules Asner hosted Wild On.
I know what you mean.
He's
Yeah.
the voice of the old man from Up, right?
Yeah,
That's Ed Asner.
that's his.
Then
dad.
there was also Art Man.
Art Man Presents.
Art Man Presents.
Those, and he was like talking to
One of the worst
ladies.
presenters ever.
That's the guy from Coast to Coast AM, right?
No,
Space Ghost.
that's Art Bell.
Oh, it's Art Bell.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
We're way off.
See, this is given our conversation on the ride over. This is what I mean of retaining facts that have
Oh yeah,
no
you're
meaning.
you're a DC brainiac.
I don't like
Great movie starring Mr. T
Absolutely.
and Jesse Eisenberg. It was not
Was
a
it
big
really?
hit,
Not a
but
big hit.
not a big hit.
I'm gonna try this Mystery Science Beaver
Go for it.
3000.
From Little Beaver Brewing in Bloomington, Illinois. But Mike said, "Love this, superb." Jason read my mind with all his closing thoughts. I got a very Pete and Pete type of vibe. Could definitely see this being a one-season show on something like TNN that became a cult thing currently. I feel the character descriptions for Jim's characters had some mind-blowing revelations. Hasn't it always been a question as to who Bunny actually is? And the fact that Auntie Nelda wears a neck brace for basically no reason. Personally, I like the name Lima Beans because it's bizarre, like the show seems to be, but I understand how it probably wouldn't work. Maybe it actually helps bring people in just to see what the hell it is. I know I have more thoughts on those. I know I have more thoughts, but those were a couple things that jumped out at me. Would love to hear an update if you ever hear back from Daniel. Then he also said, also, I haven't pulled a trigger on a shirt, but would totally get one for this. Maybe the Minor Hill Lima Bean capital of the world town sign. Oh, and thank you, Derek. First, for casting the old lady from that episode of Seinfeld as Melba.
You are welcome.
On the Ernest Goes to
Ridiculous.
Hollywood episode, that was immediately who I thought of for the aging star.
You are so welcome.
And the characters seemed really similar. Second, for saying shit titties.
Oh, I did it just for you. I'm glad you liked it.
So Mike was asking if we ever heard back from Daniel. Turns out we did. I sent him a message and was
5
like,
minutes ago?
no, about
I
lima
know,
beans.
I know.
And his response was, I remember nothing about it. Maybe because I hate lima beans so much, I just purged it from my
He
memory.
hated it.
He hates
He hates
actual lima beans.
Oh, okay.
Probably because of being Ernest's tongue. That was one of the first things he had dumped on him. But
Super sensitive to legumes.
yeah. So Daniel Butler was of no help on lima beans,
least he
aside from
responded.
getting us the script. So
Which is a major help.
that is the major
That's
help.
a major help.
Had no information about it, but was like,
Right.
here's a thing we did once.
Here's something I have that I made that I digitalized.
Yes.
Yes. So
Using a series of tubes.
that's our lima beans ketchup. And
I do apologize.
What now?
Because I jumped in asking vigilante questions. You
Yeah.
talked about Jen,
mhm.
but I don't think you actually read what she said.
I thought I did.
I don't think he did.
No, I did.
Did
She
you?
would give it a superb as well.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I got hit in the head with a truck. I'm concussed.
I'm here with you, buddy.
Is he gonna be okay?
I
You
don't
gonna
know.
be
I'm alright.
Okay.
He reeked of booze when I picked
I
him up.
fell
don't
on
know.
ice, hit brain place
Yeah.
at work. It's fine though.
He said it felt like it was raining in his head, which I think he's internally bleeding.
It sounded like ocean,
Right.
like seashell.
Hang in there, buddy. Have another beer.
Okay.
All right. And
It's delicious.
something else I wanted to mention: we got some really cool T-shirts that were given to
Oh my
us.
God.
I'm currently wearing one.
love 'em.
I will stand up so you can see.
These are awesome.
It is a reference to Hey Vern, It's My Family album,
It's a deep cut.
which was the second episode of The Importance of Seeing Ernest. And it's referencing my favorite character. Well, there's a couple on there. that
I
like.
feel like
I
you're
would
more-
say it's my favorite.
Yeah.
I think you're more of a Pops guy.
Yeah.
Your
I
silver
do.
medalist is Boogie.
Boogie
is my
pretty
gold
great.
medalist.
Billy Boogie Worrell, the the carny that runs the scrambler
Oh,
at
the scrambler.
at the traveling
He can dance,
fair.
man.
And yes, he's a disco.
In the words of
disco
Weird Al,
man.
boy, that boy can dance.
Yeah. So we've talked about his shirt, which looks exactly like this,
Exactly.
except sleeveless, but it's 2 degrees outside, and
Kind of some sleeves. And
I
stuff
haven't been
going on.
doing any kind of upper body conditioning training. So
Okay.
I
No push-ups.
my guns are not
curls?
to Varney level,
Oh, you'll never get. No one will ever get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't feel bad.
so I don't want to try.
Well, now you've just set the bar for me, so I know what I need to work towards.
Okay.
But
Sweet Varney guns.
these were sent to us by listener and Vernonite Maureen, and we would just like to say thank you so much.
Adore you,
She
Maureen.
she even included this little Ernest picture in there and
She's
and
a wonderful
note.
treat.
It said, Dustin, Derek, and Jason, thank you for doing the Lord's work of preserving Jim Varney's legacy and raising Ernest awareness. XOXO Maureen. So, thank you very much.
You get all of our X's and O's.
Yeah, that was awesome. Those shirts are so cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We love them.
And, yeah, expect to see them pop up every so often in these videos. I rotate my Ernest shirts. I've now got
yes.
several. So.
Oh, this is gonna be everyday wear.
And we're now
Yeah.
getting some Ernest shirt
Yeah,
displaying in
if
the
you're
back.
if you're watching the YouTube video, which we highly encourage, because that
Shauna
is
does love the bananas one.
that is
Loves
one
it.
way to hear some of the content before it comes out. The other way is if you become a patron, you'll get the raw, unedited audio, which for these episodes will be substantially different than the released product. But you can go to patreon.com/seeingernest, sign up. You get the patron bonus episode, which there's rumblings of some more bonus episodes coming up.
We got some ideas.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Can we give a taste on one? Just 'cause
All
it
I'm gonna
makes me
say
very
is
happy.
drunk at the movies
And to
Ernest
that, I'm gonna add
style.
my mysterious fiance,
Yeah,
who refuses to get on mic. We're gonna get her on mic. She's a peach.
Okay.
I mean, so far the only time she's on mic is knock it off with that word.
Yeah, she was on the old show,
She-
yelling at us.
She yelling more so at Blake.
I think I said the word a few times.
I
myself.
did as well.
And you know what? I don't apologize.
Bird.
And you know what? You can bring her here, and I won't apologize to her.
I kind of
either.
want to see the two of you fight.
Oh, I'm gonna let her head. She really likes me. I'm gonna turn that around.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
she's a bruiser.
All
I
right.
can smell it on her.
Yeah, she's a Chicago Pollock, babe. They're angry, the fight to the burger.
So, Jason, you're holding the conceptual artwork here.
Yeah, some of these I really it's like 150 different treatments of things that we have,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So I'm looking at one right now, and some of these treatments do have a title page. I held it up earlier. Obviously, we're doing Ernest and the Waterbaby today, but a lot of them look kind of similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest mugging for the camera. They photoshopped them in, or whatever godforsaken technology they had at the time that they're doing this. And this so happens to have a picture of the conceived Waterbaby, which almost looks like a
Water babies, make your dreams come true.
I'd say the Waterbaby looks like some sort of weird milk droplet with with eyes, a mouth, two almost like little hands and little like claw feet.
It looks different than Buster's drawing here.
Oh, that one has like the long fingers with the
web
suction.
frog.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Frog-like toes and
Yeah.
fingers.
Yeah. So it's in that wheelhouse, I guess.
I'll read the caption on
Go
the front.
for it.
It says, the Waterbaby, a little creature of the swamp, is key to the fountain of youth and Ernest's only friend. Vicious poachers on airboats, alligators, and ruthless corporate executives are bent on keeping Ernest from returning the little guy to the Everglades.
Okay.
Elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch. How would you what would you give that pitch there?
I'd give it I think a B.
Okay.
Mhm.
B
Just a
battery.
solid B.
It's-
Not minus, not plus.
No. Right down
B.
the middle.
Right down the middle.
Okay. Well, next what we'll do, just to give you guys a heads up of what some of the characters are, I'm going to read our list and
Players.
who will be playing who. As I said, we are the Kikiki community players, and
Performers and portrayers.
this is our first full script read through. It will not be the last. We have at least 3
There's a couple.
other complete scripts.
What's the other one? Hot Fresh Ernest?
So
That's one of them, right?
we've got Hot Fresh Ernest,
Mamma Mia.
but we've also got a shorter
that's a
Hot
little
Fresh
bit of
Ernest, and that's actually going to be our next episode.
So okay, so there's a big one. He's like the Pizza Hut, the Bigfoot pizza, how you say. And then we have a smaller one. Is the Bagel Back Pizza?
Correct.
And is there a third one though that's a full treatment or not?
So yeah, we have the what's the Voodoo Curse? That was the one that was put up against this one, and Waterbaby
Oh,
won. So we have
right.
Voodoo Curse. We have a full Hot Fresh Ernest, but we will do the smaller one first, and then eventually do the long form. We have Ernest
The long
and
version?
Son.
That's a full treatment?
That is a full treatment.
Oh my god.
But I think it's different than the one we did already.
Okay.
And then we also have a full script called Ernest Goes Bad, which was the original Ernest Goes to Jail.
Where you have essentially a bad version of Ernest as what was that guy's name? Mr. Nash?
Mr. Nash.
Nash.
Toilet wine.
Yeah.
Put it wine.
He's
think
the thirst trap for Ernest Twitter this week. Good Lord, ladies.
When are we gonna see like a website or some porn site pop up with like Ernest fetish videos?
If it hasn't happened yet, I don't think it's going to.
I mean, they say Rule 34. If it exists, it exists.
It could have existed in
There's
the
Ernest.
90s.
There's Ernest porn.
Okay. He said confidently.
Yeah.
Narrating.
Dustin found it.
Did he?
Did I?
Yeah. Remember Ernest Goes to Teens? You found that with that guy?
No, I don't.
You found it.
I've blocked that from my memory,
If
apparently.
he said that to me and you, I have as well blocked it. I don't need
Was this a
that.
fever
Well,
dream, Bulldozer Boy?
No.
He told me on the way over he's been having a lot of vivid dreams.
I have been having a lot of vivid dreams.
All of
it.
it involved
Vivid pictures?
due
Like
to-
the
due to-
pornography company?
Oh my, Jenna Jameson.
Yes.
Due to head injuries and sleep aids, but no, like you had found it. This was in the early days of
Oh,
IOSE. Unfortunately, you two get to block things out. I'm cursed with my brain life hack of memory.
I'm just glad you don't have awake aids.
Oh, that's good.
Just,
we don't do that.
keep it in the sleep.
That's called cocaine.
Earn it, yeah.
Awake aid? Yeah, that's,
Ernest goes west.
that's called getting schneefed.
I do remember you saying the voodoo curse one now that you said it, because I think I had mentioned on the old show we should shoot it right here on the Illinois River.
Yeah?
I remember saying that's something I did not block out. I remember hearing that there was an entire treatment of the voodoo curse, and that hey, why don't we
Why
just
don't we
make
film
it?
it?
Why don't we make that movie?
We'll get a hold of Zach Warrant,
Yeah.
Seth Bennett, old Joey Jojo. We'll put together a little movie film.
Now Joey Jojo's the guy who has the limo company, is that right?
Oh, that's
That's Johnny
Johnny.
Franks.
That's Johnny Two Fingers Franks. I don't know. We
Where-
gave it some kind of gangster name.
2 fingers could speak to like amount of alcohol,
Yeah.
or something else.
Exactly.
It can speak to 3 things in my mind: alcohol, disability, what you getting, girl?
Some sort of woodshop accident.
some sort of shop class accident, or what you about to get, girl?
He was on the basketball team, but
little
he
web shooter.
Good Lord.
also
My
horrible
spidey
at
sense is tingling.
making
Please
lambs.
stop. Stop looking at me and stop doing that with your hand.
No,
I don't want it.
No?
I don't want either.
you don't want that? Flap.
I don't like it.
Moving on.
Come here.
Baby.
Yes, we all read Maxim magazine.
Nice.
You know what that is?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I told you to leave me be.
But you don't listen. You know that?
Sounds familiar.
You can cut this. There is a great sketch. It's a Disney television show themed sketch on Saturday Night
It's
Live
fantastic.
when Scarlett Johansson hosted, and it's all these teens at a school, and Kenan Thompson comes in with
He had like broke his leg
legs.
initially,
and they're like, hey, I'm sorry you can't do the thing in gym class. Well, with the rest of us, and he's like, but our teacher had in class today had a message of positivity about using your mind and getting around things. Maybe you can join us. So he like basically it's the same thing over and over where Kenan tries to do what they tell him to do, and he keeps hurting himself.
more so.
But he falls
flat
on his face on the ground, and then the camera gets super close on him, and they're like, oh, what's wrong, Tyler?
I told you, leave me, man.
He's like, leave me alone. Why'd you make me do this? And then it does the whole thing over again. It's just the camera is all in his. It's so funny.
It's fantastic.
The way it's shot is great.
Pierre Escargot.
I believe Taryn Killam is just over the top, of course.
And at the end, they're like, he's just like, no, I don't. I think his lecture was reckless, and I don't agree with him. He's like, come on, Tyler. And then they keep making him like jumping on trampolines and shit.
Just forcing it.
It's funny.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
I'll have to look it up.
It's choice.
Leave me, babe.
Leave me, man.
So for our cast of characters,
Yeah, let's
of
get
course,
this train back on the rails. My bad.
top of the call sheet, we've got Ernest, also Bunny Jeanette, also Pierre Balboni.
Pierre
I will be reading those 3 roles.
Balboni.
Now, all 3 of those roles would have been played by Jim Varney, which would make sense for us to cast the same person amongst us 3 to
Will
play
you be
those 3
going
parts.
Cajun French on Pierre?
I don't want. I'm gonna plug my ears because
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want all the voices.
You want to be a surprise?
Yeah.
We haven't done any of the voices.
We
to
haven't
each
done
other.
any voices. I will say
So I'm gonna be
this.
surprised.
We are not
If you
professional.
talk like Gambit, I'm not going to be mad.
We're not professional actors.
Oh,
We've never done a script read through. We've done treatments where we've done voices. Will the voices remain consistent through the entire 108 pages?
Nope.
As we drink?
Nope.
Probably not.
Nope.
Just go with it. You'll be able to follow along.
Like so much Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler, just go with it.
Yeah.
One of the many movies that exist.
Rated
PG-13.
Right down there on the bottom shelf. I can't
You
read
didn't
it.
let me down.
Yeah.
That's where the title was made, and they're like, let's build a movie around this title.
Here's a game we're gonna play someday. We're just gonna randomly throw out
We
titles,
just
and we're
watched
gonna
it
watch
recently.
him. We're gonna watch him point.
Yep.
To where it's at.
I'll be dancing like Boogie World.
Doesn't sound fun to me. I'm out.
All right.
I don't want to play.
Next up, we
Poor
have
attitude, Skip.
we have the Jorgensens, a tourist
Jorgensens.
family. We have Herb the father, as read by Derek. We have Ruth the mother, as read by Jason. David, the 10-year-old son, me. And then Tina, the 15-year-old daughter, as read by Derek. We have Seminole Sally, one of our antagonists, portrayed by Derek. We have 2 of her lackeys and employees, Jake, me, and Elrod, Jason.
Hubbard.
No, Elrod, not
Oh,
L.Ron.
the sports
Hubbard.
guy.
Yes.
Your butt cheeks is more.
Anna Harwell will be read by me. Linda Hopkins by Jason. Captain Claiborne is Derek. Ted Burkhart, Jason. Guard, Derek. Hector, Derek. Horace Kemp, me. I'm also a doctor and a board member. And Jason, you're not a board member because Derek is board member too. There is no board member 3, so you are excluded from the board membership.
Sorry about that.
Well, can I at least have one more roll?
You are the Waterbaby.
Oh boy.
And then Derek is also Buckholtz.
What's their name?
Buckholtz.
Buckholtz?
It sounds like you're
Sounds like-
hearing that for the first time.
Yeah.
Like maybe you didn't look at the script at all.
I don't
Or our text chain.
know.
Bulldozer.
Bulldozer to head.
There are also a lot of
Does anyone else smell almonds?
narrations and stage directions. We'll be trading off reading those. Basically, whoever doesn't have a lot of dialogue on that specific page will take the lead on the stage direction and narration. Also,
Exit stage left.
there's some random roles here and there that we'll just kind of figure out on the fly.
Yeah.
But that's the main cast. So we all have our lines marked, and I say
Some
we
of us
just
do.
get into it.
Have we mentioned it's 100 pages long?
3 episodes.
We're doing 3 episodes.
Strap in.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh.
All right. Jason, would you like to start?
What an honor. All right. Alligators slide off the reeds. Tarpon roll in the canal. An owl blinks as a series of shots illustrate the quiet tranquility of the Everglades. A hammer banging away in the distance echoes through the peacefulness of the jungle. The clack of the hammer is accompanied by Ernest singing, "The lion sleeps tonight," to himself.
A weem a whack, a weem a whack, a weem a whack, a weem a whack.
We find Ernest hammering a sign to a tree that reads, "Monkey Jungle Nature Trail," with an arrow pointing east. As Ernest turns to board his skiff, the sign swings around, now pointing west.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Hey, in the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
Ernest starts to pole his boat across the shallow marshland. A possum peeks out of the undergrowth at our singer, who is now really into his performance.
Well done.
Yeah, very well done. The small craft cuts through tea-strained water as Ernest lifts and tucks his pole in the mud only a few feet below.
A weem a whack, a weem a whack. In the village, the peaceful village, a lion sleeps tonight.
Suddenly, he digs too deep with the pole and becomes stuck in the mud. He grunts out a few words of the song as he tries to dislodge the pole.
A weem a whack, a weem.
The boat begins to slip away from the rigid pole, and Ernest finds himself becoming a human bridge between the pole and the transom of the boat. Now, I know what the word transom means. Do you know what the word transom means?
No, I don't.
I think it's the back of the boat.
Is it?
Yeah. That's a word for the back of the boat. And this is the first, hopefully many, very physical scenes for Ernest.
I thought it's where you get hypnotized, but you look really good.
That's brilliant.
Acting!
I'm in a trance, but I'm handsome.
Also, a lot of talk about Ernest's pole on the first page.
This is pole-heavy script.
Theater.
Turns out.
Theater.
He locks his toes into the gunnel. No, I don't know what the gunnel is. And holds onto the pole for dear life. The pole begins to bend as the boat slips further and further away.
Oh no! In the jungle, the mighty.
Now Ernest is stretched to the limit. The pole is nearly bent double. Something's got to give, and it does. Ernest. His toes release the transom. His foot hits the starter of the motor, and Ernest is pole vaulted skyward. Whoosh! Crash! Ernest hits high in a large tree at the edge of the woods. He falls through the limbs, but is able to grab a hanging grapevine.
Huh. Whew. Got it.
Ernest hangs on for a beat, catching his breath, some 40 feet above the ground. He dangles out too far to grab the limb and climb down. He has an idea. He begins to rock back and forth, getting his grapevine to swing in a pendulum fashion. Harder and harder he swings, just missing the limb. Each time he reaches for it, he swings out of frame with one big thrust.
Got it.
He swings back into screen, holding a snake.
Yeah.
He lets go of the vine instead of the snake and drops through the tree, breaking limbs as he goes to splat the quicksand.
No.
As Ernest begins to sink in the muck, he desperately tries to reach the overhanging grapevine, but it's no use. Ernest gradually sinks down into the soft sand that covers him totally, except for his reaching hand.
We do have a note that the snake is CGI.
It
says right at the bottom, CGI snake.
CGI snake. How good would that look back then? I imagine not good at all.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Anaconda?
Yes, I have.
Worse than that.
Yeah, because it's years prior and no Jennifer Lopez.
Oh.
Jennifer Lopez. No John Voight. No Eric Stoltz.
No Ice Cubes.
No Ice Cubes.
John Voight with his very mysterious accent, right?
Yes. That makes zero sense.
He may be a frame of reference in this movie. Who knows?
A bubble emerges from the quicksand and pops, releasing the sound.
Help!
A white egret catches the action with a curious eye. The grapevine begins to unravel at the top, and in a twirling motion lowers itself into Ernest's hand just before he goes under. He grabs it with all his strength.
He's got that sick arm strength.
Mm-hmm.
Truly
Showing
does.
those guns.
The music starts to build. Ernest's other hand pops out of the soupy sand and grabs hold. Ernest struggles, pulling himself out hand over hand. The curious egret moves 2 steps closer. It seems he wants to get a better look at this fiasco. Ernest has pulled himself up to where only his feet remain in the quicksand.
Made it.
Then, across the open grass, Ernest's empty boat with motor whining heads directly for him. The bow catches him right in the gut, toppling him head first into the bottom of the boat. The egret watches as the boat motors away. The whine of the engine fades, and the calm of the Everglades returns. First title. The egret focuses its stare into the now still waters. Interspersed credits. The water suddenly boils in a huge glug, as if a sea monster decided to roll over in its sleep. The egret takes flight. We follow and become the white bird soaring high over the Everglades. The titles continue. We hover over a vast wasteland of sawgrass and marshes. A straight arrow highway stabs through the patches of brown and green. From Naples to Miami, it's as if an engineer's T-square was laid across the Everglades. A car passes under us as we lose altitude as we follow. And we lose altitude, rather, as we follow.
If you don't intersect George Costanza talking about a T-square there, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Well, you might be disappointed because we're probably not going to have as many random cutaways in these episodes.
Sorry.
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 So what do we
This is
think
Dread
of
Man.
the opening scene? It's kind of camp-ish. It's just Ernest on his own, getting into some hijinks. We have a runaway boat instead of a runaway golf cart.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I guess it's an Ernest cold open. It seems kind of on point.
It does. We don't really know what his job is or what he's doing. He's just out in the middle of the Everglades putting up a sign. The 40 feet, being vaulted 40 feet in the air, seems like pretty ridiculous.
He also
and
was
high.
putting up a sign in camp, too, wasn't he?
Oh, he was?
He was working on it.
Yes.
Yes, so very similar to camp.
But I like it. I think it's on par. I love the visual of him stretched out between the transom and the rigid pole.
Rigid pole. Most rigid.
Gotta have that rigid pole, baby.
That's right, baby.
All right, scene 2, interior station wagon day. The Jorgensens are on their family vacation. They've driven all the way from their home in St. Paul, Minnesota, and have done Florida for nearly 2 weeks, from Daytona Beach to Disney World to Marineland. And at this point, their interfamily relationship is, well, you know. Hey, Dad, how much further?
Boy, you ask me that one more time, I'm gonna punch.
Oh, would you look at the Decilium? It's a variety of the rose family. They just grow wild here.
Whoop-de-doo. Maybe I'll go into a convent so I'll never have to do this again the rest of my adult life.
She puts on her headphones.
Young lady, your attitude this trip has needed a major adjustment.
Herb's point of view. A sign reads, "See two-headed snake at the monkey jungle." Yeah, she needs a major adjustment.
You little twerp.
He pops the cord to the Walkman. Now say it again.
Now say it again. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's
Missed my
okay.
cue.
That's all right. We can take it from
Yeah, that's fair.
There we go. She smacks off his shark hat. Another sign reads, Glades Souvenirs at the Monkey Jungle. Mom, make her quit.
Stop it, both of you!
But he started it.
I'm sorry. Give me 1 second here. I gotta
You need a lozenge?
blow my nose. And I had a White Cough special here. So. Hey, there we go.
There
Sorry.
we go.
I'm getting all
Oh yeah, get it all out. Oh yeah.
That looks like a very heavy-duty dish rag there that you're using as a hanging
It's
cushion.
actually, we got like several of them free from the hospital.
No, you paid for them. If you got them from a hospital, I guarantee
somewhere.
I gotcha.
Yeah, somebody was charged
That was
for it.
$20.
People want the soft ones. I don't. I want the rugged ones. I want to go in the nose. I want to grab everything that I want out and rip that crap right out of it.
Long story short, it's a cloth diaper.
Okay.
An infant, a newborn cloth diaper. Okay.
All right. So you're now transitioning from the daughter into the father.
So I'm dad, right? I was
Herb.
okay with Tina? Okay.
Yeah.
You heard your... Hold on. I got... Oh, that's fantastic. I'm gonna get my Midwesterner going here. Oh, that's just fantastic. You heard your mother. It's still not right. God damn it. I'm sorry. Hold on. Hey there, Bob. Hey there, Bob.
Yeah. Do that 70s show.
Exactly. That's what I'm... Hey there, Bob. You heard your mother. Open the window, Ruth. It's burning up in here.
And we'll blow on David, and with his asthma.
His asthma is what caused the air conditioning to go out.
Oh, now explain that one to me.
Another sign. Man-eating lizard at the monkey jungle. Hey, Dad. Let's stop at the monkey jungle.
We've done enough.
Come on, Dad. I want to see the man-eating lizard.
Oh, gross me out.
Scene 3. Exterior. Airboat dock. Day. 2 caged airplane engines sit atop the floating flat-bottomed airboats. In seats some 6 feet above the water are the tourists, perched like innocent doves on a telephone wire. They've paid their money, and they are ready for that exciting ride blasting across the sawgrass on an airboat. A faded print muslin dress hangs from the broad shoulders of Seminole Sally as she waddles pigeon-toed down the dock. She chews tobacco as she throws a false smile at the tourists. Her expression turns to a stern, angry scowl when Ernest pulls up to the dock in his skiff. Hey, Sally, guess what? I made a nature trail that people can go on and see, and it's going to be real cool.
Sorry.
I was vamping. It's all right.
Do one more time.
All right,
I'm
one
sorry.
more time.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Sally, guess what? I made a nature trail that people can go on. And
Shut up, Ernest, you're late. Hold yourself off and clean the duckweed off the boat ramp.
Sally never slows her pace, never stops her direction toward her 2 sons, Jake and Elrod. The brothers carry a cage with a small doe cramped inside. The tourists put on sunblock while waiting for their airboat guides. Elrod sets the cage down.
My, this is the only size we could get.
Maybe it will live longer than the other one.
Sally... It's like somewhat Eric Cartman.
It's almost.
It's
very.
Eric Cartman doing Mama Fratelli.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's very nearly Cartman.
You're very welcome. With like a slight hint of stroke.
Okay. Sally spits a little chewing tobacco into the water.
Now listen to me, Jake, and you boys stay out there long enough that those suckers become so parched that the payday will begin to bring them back up.
Are you okay?
Dustin's loving it.
You okay?
I'm just hoping everybody can understand the dialogue.
Take it in the tail with the tail. Or do I need to put my teeth in?
Sally throws another false smile at the suckers anxiously awaiting their thrill ride. Jake and Elrod are 2 35-year-old misfits who have the conscience of John Dillinger and Ted Bundy.
That's alarming.
Yeah, the
Ted
two...
Bundy was famously horrible.
Yeah, John Dillinger just, you know...
He got ratted out by a broad in a red dress.
Uh-huh. The 2 airboat guides stand side by side facing off with Sally.
Sally, me and Jake have been thinking we don't like the deal on the tips.
Sally's face turns red. She cools herself.
You don't like the deal? You don't like the deal? My little puppy don't appreciate the work at all of the poor mother.
Sally becomes enraged.
What's wrong with the dad? I split him with you 50-50.
But we gotta split our half and keep the ride fee too.
Trampled in the table Tuesday because they switched time.
That line needs subtitles.
I could do it again. I had a little too much spit going on.
Something.
Trampled in the table Tuesday because they switched time. After all I've done for you, raising you, taking care of you two dirtballs after your daddy ran off.
After you ran him off. Sally shoves him towards the airboat.
Put up a guard or won't you be drinking palmetto bugs out of your earwax back at Rayford Prison?
Sally starts back down the dock, then turns.
Oh, sorry. It was the way it was printed up.
You're fine.
And don't take them anywhere near the island.
Are you gonna be okay?
I'll be alright.
Do I need to switch it up?
Are you going to be
I'm gonna be great. May I finish this? Anybody? Anyone?
Let me take it.
You want to take me a little shot ski? Am I a little over the top? Do we need to bring it back?
I don't know.
Oh, come on now.
Hopefully
By the way,
the
I have
level leader will help.
I have a lot of time in the back roads of Lexington to work out this voice.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
game on, babe.
All right. Would you like to take over for the narration with this one?
Absolutely. Montage of airboats starting up. Now here's
Close up.
Close up. Okay. Close up of Jake. Extreme close up of ignition key. Close up excited tourist. Close up airplane engines starting. Waterbirds flutter skyward. Alligators turn their heads. Jake shoves the center stick forward. The flaps turn and the airboats go tearing across the sawgrass. The tourists scream as they cut through the overhanging Spanish moss. As the engine sounds die away off into the Everglades, the camera settles on a close-up of Ernest, whose face is a mixture of envy and amazement.
Wow. Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Wow. Ernest's dreams are suddenly interrupted.
Aw, that's not so neat. I've seen better stuff on ESPN.
Ernest tries to cover his awe of the airboat guide.
Oh, yeah. Well, if I was driving at Star Sled, you'd see a real blast off. I can do things with high-powered machinery that the Japanese haven't even thought of. Know what I mean? That old lady in the gift shop said you were going to feed the alligators.
Ernest is stopped cold.
She did?
David reads that Ernest is hesitating.
You're not? This is a ripoff. Mom, tell that lady that... Wait, yeah, sure. I'll go feed the gators, sure.
Ernest whines and shuffles off. Scene 4. Exterior of a gator pit. Day. Ernest pulls the small horn off a hook. The Jorgensen's family gathers around. Ernest twirls the horn on his forefinger like a gunfighter. The strap tangles in the fringes.
I don't have 4 fingers. I've got 5 fingers. And I didn't know one of them so well. Right?
Yep.
No? Okay. Sorry.
I dig it.
Said 4 finger. I just had flashbacks.
I didn't
to
have
scare
4
stupid-
fingers.
Yeah. I got 8 fingers, Vern. Yeah. That's my gator horn. That's what I call the supper with. The old dinner bell. I blow on this baby and they know it's chow time. Come to Papa.
He blows the horn. The alligators slide from the banks of the pond. A few roll into the shallow water and snap their incisors. Even Ernest is still not used to the display of violence.
Ooh, neat. Look at the teeth on that one.
Close up, large alligator chomps down and makes a huge splash.
Now, David, don't get too close.
Ernest climbs up to the little stand that overhangs the pit. He ties a chicken carcass to one of the hanging ropes that dangles from the clothesline apparatus that extends out over the pit.
But, Mom, he's real close and I...
That's okay, though. He's a professional.
Ernest ties several chicken carcasses onto the rope. He's very uneasy about leaning out so far over the pit. Headphones in place, Tina still wears the sour face of boredom. I wonder how much I'll have to tip this guy. Ernest is now safe next to the electric motor that runs the pulley that carries the gator's lunch out over the pit. He flips the switch, and the string of chicken carcasses travel out over the gator pit. With a cocky chuckle, Ernest puts the horn to his lips.
Now, watch this.
He blows the horn. The alligators go wild. They literally jump in the air, grabbing the chickens. Their powerful jaws snap the chickens loose from their Velcro harnesses.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gator jumperoo.
He blows the horn again. The motor grinds away, the chickens ride along, and the gators go nuts. Suddenly, one of the Velcro straps that holds the chickens on gets caught in Ernest's shirt. It jerks him off his feet. He drops his horn and desperately tries to hit the off switch, but he's too far away. The rope chugs along over the pit, and Ernest dangles like a special entree.
What a show!
David picks up the horn and begins to blow on it. The alligators boil over one another, trying to jump and grab their new premium dinner.
No, kid. Put it down.
Now let's take a quick pause, if we shall.
We have some
show
artwork,
a little bit of the artwork,
which is basically a rotisserie Ernest dangling above an alligator.
like so much tar pit.
Yeah. Do we like this little scene
I
so
do.
far?
I do. The little sketches. The sketches
Yeah.
bring it to life.
I mean, it again. I'm getting camp vibes with his whole like campfire
There's a
barbecue
little-
thing, you know.
little campish qualities to it. The movie, not the descriptor.
Right.
Yeah, I like it so far. There's a fine line between leaving a lot to the imagination and like giving you every detail, and obviously we're getting every detail here, and that can go awesome or bad. So far, it is working for me.
All right, Jason, would you like to continue?
I would love to. David continues to blow the horn.
No, don't do that.
Alligators snap at Ernest. David continues to blow the horn.
No, stop.
Ernest squirms around the rope like a struggling moth on a spider web. David continues with the horn. The alligators leap at Ernest's flailing limbs.
David, don't blow that horn anymore!
Now, I apologize when it comes to her. Okay? Every time, this is going to be like that weird SNL sketch where they're making fun of Ben Affleck. I'm going to probably have to stop and go do some sort of Bob from
That's fine.
Wisconsin.
That's
just
what
to get
editing
my-
is for.
Just as long as Dustin has to sit in the editing chair for 15 fucking
as
hours.
long as possible. Hey there, Bob. Oh, let the boy alone, Ruth. It's just an act like those stuntmen gunfighting on those studio tours.
The alligators continue to chomp at Ernest.
It's not an act. Stop it with the horn, will you? Hit that switch.
The switch.
The switch.
David hits the switch. The motor stops with an abrupt halt, jerking Ernest off the rope.
What?
Yep, that's right. Ernest hits the... I read that correctly.
Yes, you did.
Ernest hits the water running.
Is that a sexual term?
It can
Oh,
be.
man, she was jerking me off the rope, man.
Anything.
I didn't know how the date was going. Next thing I know, we're sitting there watching a movie. She reaches over. She started jerking me off the rope, man. It was hot.
Anything
Thank
can
God-
be
thank God we were
sexual.
sitting in the back.
Anything can be an innuendo with the right inflection.
Kendall.
That's what I've learned. He's a Ken doll down there.
Hey, how'd your date go? She jerk you off the rope. Know what I'm saying? A little bit of that stink.
Stop locking eyes with me and making that motion with your hand.
Never!
His feet dance across the backs of the floating alligators, but he only gets so far. The Velcro strap is still stuck to him. As he runs, the rope bows with him like drawing back a slingshot. He grabs a light pole on the other side of the pit to hold himself. The pole bends over, and Ernest is stretched over the pit. The gators jump and snap at him again. Then, twang! Ernest is shot like an arrow across the pit. His head crashes through the parrot cage, where he is an unwelcome intruder. The parrot's sharp beak clamps down on Ernest's nose. Sally steps up behind the family with false sincerity.
Oh, crap. I'm sorry. I mixed up Sally with Tina, but I do both.
Wasn't that a good show, boys and girls?
Tina's still uninterested. Under her breath to Herb.
He expressed the tip, if you know what I mean.
She said, "You know what I mean."
She did
Yes,
say
I
it.
did. I said it too.
Herb grudgingly digs into his pocket and puts a 5 spot in Sally's hand. Sally stuffs it in her pocket. As they leave, Sally turns back toward Ernest.
You idiot! You owe me $20 for that cage.
Ernest struggles to get his head out of the tangled parrot cage. The bird still hangs on. Ernest hangs his head, dejected.
Yeah, these are gross.
David looks at specimens in a jar, one of Sally's nature attractions. Dead animals and fish float in a murky fluid.
What'd you expect at a dump like this? Let's go.
Ernest joins them.
If you really want to see some actual nature, like up close and personal where it lives, then what you need is the Ernest P. Worrell Real Life Nature Walk. It's the newest attraction here at the Monkey Jungle, so new Sally doesn't even know about it.
How much?
Normally, a chance to see exotic plants and animals would cost you at least $5 a piece.
Oh, I love exotic plants. I've got a whole collection back home.
Which is where we should be going.
But today only, since this is the grand opening of the trail, I could let you all go for $1 a piece.
Oh, come on, Herb. It'll be fun.
All right, but then we've got to get on the road. We're a long way from Minnesota.
Dissolve 2. This is scene 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Shall I keep going?
Keep going.
Okay.
Please and thank you.
Exterior, small boat, swamp. Day. The Jorgensens sit uncomfortably in Ernest's small skiff as Ernest runs the tiny outboard motor. They are in the deep swamp, far from the token civilization of the Monkey Jungle.
What you do is just follow the arrows and they'll keep you on the trail. The map I gave you will explain the specific points of interest along the way.
Herb looks skeptically at a crude hand-drawn map as the boat pulls up to the bank. There was an arrow which Ernest nailed to a tree in the opening scene. The arrow points the wrong way.
There you go. Just follow the trail and it'll take you right back to the Monkey Jungle. I worked all this out myself, drawing on my vast experience as a woodsman and naturalist. Sort of like Jacques Cousteau, without swim fins, know what I mean?
He puts proudly away. The Jorgensens start down the path. Herb lags behind, studying the map.
Come on, Herb. There's no telling what we'll see.
Either the map's wrong or the arrow's wrong.
Well, he said follow the arrows, dear.
Ruth walks happily down the trail, followed by a sullen Tina and David, who is pretending to be an Indian. Herb takes a last look at the map, shakes his head in confusion, then puts the map in his pocket and reluctantly follows his family.
Cut to scene 6. Exterior, another part of the swamp. Day. The screen is filled by a close-up of a snake head. It is a painted water snake, non-poisonous, brightly covered. It's beautiful. A metal pole pushes the snake, chasing it away. The snake isn't happy, but does slither away.
It's in my way. I want to get this last specimen now. I can get back to the Institute.
Full scene. Linda Hopkins, research biologist with the Oceanographic and Wildlife Institute, is mid-30s, dressed in Banana Republic naturalist clothes with a white lab coat. Anna Harwell is her research assistant. Linda looks to be sure the snake is gone, then kneels by a strange-looking plant. It looks like a cross between a carrot and a turnip with a bushy growth of green leaves on top. I'll bet it's the meeting with Mr. Burkhart.
As a matter of fact, we're discussing a new grant proposal, one that could pay the salary of a research assistant if she would mind her own business and get back to work.
I'll load up. Anna picks up several bags filled with plant specimens, reeds, small saplings, etc. She goes down the path and out of sight. Linda grabs the strange-looking plant and pulls on it. It doesn't budge. She adjusts her gloves, grabs it again, and jerks hard. Again, nothing happens. It won't budge.
All right, I'm Cleveland, right?
Yep.
Who the hell now with the hat now? Who the hell? Okay. I'm in a little trouble here, are you?
Linda spins around and sees an old man pulling along in a small wooden john boat. He is Captain Claiborne, eccentric swamp guru.
Oh, you startled me.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to. What you want with that swamp turner?
Linda turns back to her job and grabs another plant.
It's a Diliferium turboso, and I'm glad to study it.
She jerks hard, losing her balance and falls backward. She sits down with a splash in the shallow, muck-covered water of the swamp. She is irritated.
Study it, you say? How about that?
He approaches the plant.
When I was a little boy, my mama used to cook up a big mess of your delphinium tuberoso with hog jows and cornbread. There isn't anything better.
Linda watches him as she wipes the slimy algae off her white clothes.
Now, let me show you a little trick, y'all. You see this little limb thing here, right at the base?
Linda watches, but is wet and in no mood for the old man.
Now, if you push down and you twist the stalk like this,
He demonstrates.
it comes off easy. It just sort of lets go.
He hands the swamp turnip to Linda and gets back in his boat.
The man that taught me that pretty slick with fried okra and pork salad. Delphinium tuberosa, you don't suck.
Anna enters as Captain Claiborne pulls away, still babbling quietly to himself. We're all loaded. Who was that?
Oh, I don't know. Some big crazy old man.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
They leave. Visual transition. The sun is suddenly blocked by the silhouette of an egret. Then, a struggling animal is lowered through the screen, and we are into the new scene. Scene 7. Exterior land in the jungle, day. 2 airboats loaded down with cages are pulled up on the grass flat next to the jungle. The cages imprison parrots, alligators, rare birds, and a huge turtle. The screams of what sound like a hysterical woman cut through the thicket. Jake and Elrod are struggling with several ropes that hang from a net flung into a tree. Hold it right there. I got this here.
I'm letting down.
As the net is lowered to the ground, we see that it's a Black Panther.
Wakanda forever!
No, not that kind.
Imate!
No.
Imate!
Also not.
Imate!
He got stuck on repeat.
Sure he did.
Yeah. You got to pull that string on the back.
Imate!
It says more than one.
He loves
One
Imate.
Yep.
Close up
Get this man a shield.
of the panther screaming. Jake and Elrod are very proud of their catch.
This thing will bring a terrific price.
A couple more catches like this and it's bye-bye Sally.
Yeah, we'll be out of here. And man, I mean really out of here. There's some place like New York with all kind of weird women waiting on his hand and foot, responding to our every whim.
Wearing those stretch pants and bringing us cold beers. I can see them now licking the sweat off of the can. They throw back. They
I'm
throw.
really glad there's video of what you just did.
They throw one another a devilish look.
You know, I can remember when these panthers were all over the swamp. Now it takes us weeks just to trap 1 or 2.
I know what you mean. What do you suppose is happening to them? That's the second time somebody has said, know what I mean, that isn't Ernest.
Yeah, that should be reserved solely for Jim.
Solely.
So suddenly the brothers stop cold. They hear an outboard engine approach. Get out! You game and fish. Jake and Elrod lay low, but the motor they heard is just Ernest crossing the glades in his skiff. Aw, he's just an idiot. Let's get this thing loaded. Jake and Elrod start to drag the panther toward the airboat. The camera moves into the blackness of the subdued cat and dissolves into the darkening sky above.
Scene 8. Exterior. Swamp. Once again, day. Ernest putts along happily in his small motorboat. As he rides through the swamp, past cypress trees and Spanish moss, he pretends he is a real airboat guide.
Making the noise of an airboat. Ernest P. Wardle, airboat guide. Oh, yes, ma'am. There are lots of wild animals in the Everglades, all sorts of things. There's black panthers, one of the most ferocious cats on the planet, and huge alligators, some as long as a football field. And snakes, whoa, there are snakes, the most poisonous in the world.
Ernest is now beginning to scare himself.
The kind that hang in trees and drop into your boat when you're not expecting it. Then there's the kind that chase after small boats and grab the propeller, twisting and turning their bodies until the engine shuts down.
Suddenly the boat stops dead. The engine is hung. Ernest is terrified. His heart stops as he envisions the propeller held fast by a large snake. He continues to jabber as he slowly and cautiously pulls up the outboard engine.
But they only do that at night. Yeah, that's it. They only grab engine props at night.
Ernest slowly pulls up the prop. It's tangled in a fishing net that was strung. Sorry. It's tangled in a fishing net that was strung across the canal. Relieved, he begins to untangle the net. As he pulls off the lead line, the water boils up in a huge swirl. Ernest's eyes open wide in sheer terror. He tugs on the net again, and the water swirls.
Get a hold of yourself, Ernest. After all, you are one with nature. Or at least two with nature. You have the makings of a real airboat guide. A man among men. A servant and protector of our natural world.
Ernest collects all of his courage and pulls on the net. Tangled in the mesh is the strangest creature Ernest has ever seen. The creature is almost infantile. It's about the size of a human baby. It has smooth skin and flippered feet, much the shape of a baby manatee. Its baby-like face sports big watery eyes and a tiny mouth. As Ernest untangles the net from the little creature, we see mesh marks where the nylon cords have cut into its skin. The little creature struggles to escape from Ernest.
Hold on, hang on, calm down. I'm not gonna hurt you. Oh, look here.
Ernest hangs onto the creature, who finally wears himself out and goes limp. Ernest strokes the creature gently. Little by little, the creature relaxes and responds to Ernest's kindness.
What's the matter with my little buddy? Well, let me see about that nasty old Mr. Net.
The creature coos a little. I'm sorry, hold on. Sorry about that. The creature coos a little sound like... Well, real quick, with this one here, do we want him to do
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's your first one.
All right. Third take for me, sorry. The creature coos a little sound like... as it rolls its eyes toward Ernest. Ernest pulls his knife out to cut the net, and the creature screams. This is awesome. He flips out. This is everything I would have hoped he would do. He flips out of Ernest's hands and tries to swim away, still caught in the net.
Okay, I got it. No knives. I'll see if I can get my little buddy untangled. Just be a good little buddy, lie very still, and Uncle Ernest will help you out.
The creature becomes much more docile with Ernest's words.
I can do it all day.
This is outstanding. I'm so happy.
I'll do it all day.
It's everything that
I mean, there was no
dreamed of
doubt
being.
Jason
I
was
know,
going to play the Waterbaby.
I love
This
it.
is going back to IBWIP.
Exactly.
And your Elrod voice is very familiar too.
Ernest is able to free the creature, and he holds it in his arms, cradled like a baby.
Poor baby.
He gently lays the little guy in the bait well of the boat and turns on the circulating pump. The creature raises its head out of the water just a little. We can see in its eyes that he feels safe. A white egret stares at Ernest, pulling the creature into the skiff, then launches from his perch in the tree and sails out into the sun.
All right, so I think this is where the YouTube video is going to have to end. There's been about an hour preview. You got the introduction of the Waterbaby. It's off to the races after this. We hope you guys enjoyed what you were able to see. Again, if you want to hear the rest of the episodes in the uncut audio, go to patreon.com/seeingernest. Become a patron. You'll get immediate access to the raw audio from this and past episodes, plus an exclusive patron episode where we go over 20 scripts, script ideas.
Right, yeah.
And we will never discuss those on any other episode. They were like little sentence fragments or paragraphs, and we knocked out 20 of them out of the binder.
There were a whole lot of spaghetti thrown at Jason.
Yeah.
Over a wall.
So thank you very much for tuning in, and tell your friends, stay tuned. The full episodes will be coming out, part 1 very soon, and then parts 2 and 3 2 weeks later.
Patrons get them early, watch it on YouTube, and then listen to it when it comes out, because Dustin adds a bunch of great editing noises and
magic.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Bits.
We're going to try to make this like a radio play as much as possible. So stay tuned for that.
Mercury Theater.
Yes, and until next time, is your good old buddy Dustin.
Please.
I'm Derek.
I'm Jason.
Saying golly bob howdy. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.